Hello, welcome back to another episode of the BlerdDad podcast, where we have conversations about fatherhood from this Blerd's point of view. I'm your host, Glenn Lawrence, and I'm super happy to be back with you all again. Today is Memorial Day, where we give a shout out to those who have given their lives in service. And yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot, because this is a time when we have a lot of ribs and burgers and chicken and all that type of thing. And I was just thinking to myself that I probably can't eat like that anymore because I'm up to 250 pounds. Yikes, that's a lot of poundage. Like if I keep eating like this, it's going to be my Memorial Day. So I've been really kind of kicking that around. I started working out again, and it's been a struggle, because I've fallen off so far. And I'm trying to get back into it. So it's like really tough, but I know that I got to do it, I got to get back on the horse, and just because I'm back on the horse doesn't mean I have to eat like one. You know what I mean? Like I gotta get it together. I gotta get it together here. I've been doing boxing to get it back together because that's one of my favorite things to do. Training with my boy Noel. He's getting me back in shape. Kevin, he's in there too. And it's good. I like it because they're not that hard on me. I mean, they're kind of hard on me, but not super hard on me. You know what I mean? They allow me to kind of, I don't know, just like I'm loafing out there, like I'm looking really slow, especially compared to what I used to be. And I used to work out with them before, so they know how like I used to work out hard before. And they're cool with me kind of getting back into it. I'm out there looking like, I don't know, just like as slow as the barbecue I was going to be pouring on them ribs that I wanted to eat for Memorial Day. But they're letting me kind of get my feet under myself, which is good. You need that. You need good friends that'll even though they know where you've been and what you've been up to and how have you fallen off from where you are, they allow you a little grace, to get back into shape. So I'm super happy and thankful for that. Speaking of getting myself together, let me get myself together and put these headphones on real quick so I can hear myself and hear what's going on. But yeah, man, it's tough. I'm trying to get it back together. I'm doing it for multiple reasons. One is I want to make sure that I'm, around. I want to make sure that I'm in shape or whatever, and around for this little one. And also I want him to see that I used to have hands. You know what I mean? Like how I need to let him know, like Pop used to be able to do this. I may be slower now, but look, you can still see the form. I want him to be able to see the remnants of how I used to be kind of nice with these hands, and so that's the hard part, getting back to that point, but making sure that when he comes, because it's not just when he's born. Like he's got to be born, and then he's got to have a few years, you know what I'm saying, to where he sees me. Like I have to stay in peak shape at least till he's 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? Like at least through the superhero years of his childhood, where like Dad's a superhero, Dad can do anything, Dad's amazing. I gotta stay like once the what's it, the facade or the allure has worn off, when they don't like you anymore and they're like, get away, man. Like around like 11 or 12, I feel like I could fall off then because they won't want to be around me anyway. So you know what I mean? I got a good 11, 12 years that I got to be healthy for. So there's that. Anyways, moving on. Once again, shout out to our sponsors. They made me wear it. It's great. I love them. They've been sticking with us. They do a great job of getting your dog or cat or lizard or whatever else you got geared up. I don't know if they have stuff for lizards, but they might. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm they're a sponsor of mine, and I could probably put a little bug in their ear to get a lizard. There's a joke in there somewhere, but I don't know what it is. I'm a little bit rusty from comedy as well, as you can tell. But they made me wear it. Their dog style is for the everyday parent. It's a husband and wife team. They're on a mission to help dogs discover their fashionable side, whether it's a Halloween costume, adorable dress, comfy jammies, or custom designer gowns. Dogs have gowns now? Where are they trying to set the mood? What's going on? Your fur baby will love wearing the latest fashions. Also, when you shop in their store, you're contributing to Hope for Paws, which is a animal rescue organization, and they're working tirelessly to rescue and save the lives of abandoned animals. So, what are you waiting for? You should visit theymademewearit.com for sure. And make sure you use the code word Blerd. That's BLERD at checkout for 15% off the entire store. Yeah, man, cute and cool dog clothes and costumes, and you get free shipping with They Made Me Wear It at times. Now, moving right along, got to talk about our guest tonight. It's a family episode, man. It's family. I brought my cousin in to give me a little bit of advice. His name is Brandon Tanori, and he's a TV writer. I guess they would call that a dramatist, and he's out of East Cleveland. He went to Howard University, went to Loyola Marymount. He's currently in LA, and he's a father. Most important thing, he's a father of a 5-year-old boy, and he's willing to give me advice, which is pretty much the most, I think, important thing right now. So yeah, man, we gotta welcome my buddy here to the stream. Brandon, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Happy to be here. Appreciate you. And I really appreciate you checking in with me and requesting that I come on here, man. I'm happy to give you as much advice as I can. It's definitely a lot of fun.
Right.
Some, I feel like I'm in a fraternity. I feel like it's something like that. You know what I mean? The kid will test you every day.
And I feel like it's something that dads like, there's like a camaraderie amongst dads, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like everybody goes through it, you know what I mean? There's good days, there's bad days, and there's days where you just want to like drive past your house and not come home. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about how like because some dads who like walk out on their families or whatever.
I go get that pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, it's like and there hasn't been that many times. And trust me, it's been very, very nice. 70 is amazing or whatever. But sometimes when there's those moments where you're coming to the realization of like you're not the center focus anymore. You're like, oh, this is why they don't come back. Like,
yeah,
or whatever. But yeah,
let
man.
me just tell you this: the only thing your hands are going to be good for is wiping ass, because I have my 5-year-old. That's all my hands are good for. Wow. Yeah, I might have had them hands back in the day, but when I hear that 5-year-old tell me, "Dad, come wipe my butt," you know what I mean? Like that's what you got to look forward to. That's what them hands is going to be for.
Wow.
Come wipe that baby boy's butt.
Wow. Yeah. That's so I'm trying to stay fit right now, because I realize there's not going to be that much opportunity, like you're saying, in the near future. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm not going to be able to go work out and get myself together or whatever, because I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be wiping butts. I'm going to be changing diapers. I'm going to be running around, taking them to daycare, like all this stuff.
It's going to be very key for you and Stephanie to take turns to take care of yourself. It is going to be very essential. You know what I mean? Finding opportunities for you to go work out, setting a schedule. You know what I mean? You both are going to need it. You know what I mean? So it's not just you. You're not just leaving her to stay with the baby. Like she needs her time too. She's not going to want to take it at first, but it's going to get to a point and a space where you can like, no, you need to go because you need to get out of the house and go take this hour or two for yourself. Even if it's just a couple times a week, it's necessary. And I'm sure a lot of couples, parents, whether they're together or not, it's necessary. It's going to be something that it will definitely come in handy later, because just having that time to yourself is everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that she's a little bit stubborn sometimes when it comes to taking time for herself. You know, it's like you almost have to like force her to do something for herself. So I'm realizing that that's going to be an issue, and you know, I'm going to have to like actually scale back my you know what I mean, my desire to do things for myself. You know, because I've been like single for a minute, and it's kind of, you know, it's all like a drastic change, you know, because we got married in the past year, and then, you know, the kid coming out as well. So, you know,
Right.
all of that's going to be like a drastic change, but I feel like I'm ready for it. You know, I've been kind of thinking about it, you know, so we'll see.
Yeah, you might just have to, you know what I'm saying, take the keys and push her out the door. You know what I mean? Tell her to go to, you know what I'm saying, just go take a walk. Something as simple as that, it can go very far. You know what I
So
mean?
wait,
Just
I won't even have time to walk. Like that's how
no,
crazy.
I'm talking about for her, dude. Like
Oh,
it's always going to be a situation where both are going to feel like you have more flexibility to go do certain things. She's
mm,
always going to feel like she has to stay with the baby 24/7, which is not necessarily the case,
mm-hmm,
but it's just going to be a situation for several months where she's not going to be comfortable leaving the baby with anyone. Like,
mm.
even though like you're just as capable, like in her mind for at least a moment, you might not be capable.
I can sense that. I know there's some times when I'm like, yeah, like, cause she'll be taking care of the house and doing stuff, or cooking or cleaning or whatever, and then she'll like tell me things, and I'll be like, you know, I like lived on my own for like a number of years before,
You know what?
and she's like, none of that
Got
matters.
together, like you have done nothing.
Yeah.
You have never done anything in your life. All
Right.
right.
But I get it. I get it. You know, like the baby, like I have seen her grow. She has been growing, the baby. So it's like been inside of her for, you know, all this time or whatever. And
Right.
I keep saying or whatever. I need to get those verbal tics out of there. But she's been growing the baby for all this time. It's been in her. You know what I mean? She is very connected to this thing that has grown inside her, and now it's going to be
Absolutely.
on the outside. So I realize I'm going to have to just fall back, because I have, number one, kind of the dude's mentality. And I'll just be like, it'll be fine. And she'll be like, you don't understand.
Right.
It's so important. I'll be like, it's not really important, you know, but I won't be able to win that. But I'll take your advice and make sure that she's that she's all right. Now, how you been, man? How have you been? How you been through all this? You
Man,
know,
I've been
with the
good, man. You
5-year-old and
know,
everything.
it's definitely been a roller coaster ride. You know what I mean? Like, dude, everything is just falling into place, man. Like, I'm extremely blessed. There's not a whole lot that I can complain about. Like, anytime that I might have gotten the least bit stressed, like something just came through. You know, maybe it's because I set things up, or maybe it's just things just fall into place. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I've just been very fortunate. Been very, very
Yeah.
fortunate. Like, you know, from one thing to the next, everything has just worked. You
Right.
know, like even when like the pandemic first jumped off, like, you know, it was a very trying time. And yeah, like my whole business just was, and I was doing that full time at that moment, and it totally shut me down.
Mm. Yeah,
Totally shut.
we got married. For those of you who don't know, Brandon's he's one of the best wedding videographers out in the LA area. So, you know, hit him up if you need those services. But yeah, we got married during the pandemic, so I know about how it goes. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah,
everybody's doing small things, they're not really, you know, doing the productions and whatnot, and it hampered a lot of people's you know, business opportunities out there. How'd your son handle it? How did he handle not being you know, like in school, or because he's in school now,
well, the
right?
daycares, well, you know, the
Yeah.
daycares, the preschools, they were only down for a couple weeks or a month or so.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They weren't
Hmm.
down that long. Like once they realized that little kids weren't really getting affected by it,
Hmm.
that's the only thing that was open in California, like is the daycares.
Right.
So, you know, he didn't really miss anything. Um, But yeah, I mean, he was getting stir crazy a little bit.
Did he
Trying to tell him that
notice?
he
Did he
can't go to the
notice what was
park.
going on?
Well, he knows that to him it was just what he couldn't do, and that was just all he could remember. Is that what he couldn't go to the park, he couldn't go play, because you didn't even like everybody had leprosy. It's like, no, you can't go play with that kid. No, absolutely not. And for the longest,
Right.
it's like, I don't care who he is. You're not playing with anybody. You're playing with me. And he just like, I really don't even like you that much. So it was just like, you just have to just work with it. Like, your kid will hurt your feelings worse than anybody, and they don't even mean it.
Damn, I'm not ready for that. I am not ready for like the kids saying things that are just gonna like take me out of my person. Like, I'm out here, I'm trying to do comedy, I'm doing this stuff, and you'd be like, but you're not even funny, like something, or like your numbers aren't even that big on Facebook. I'm like, damn, why you gotta be so hurtful?
Right.
My mom popped on here, she was like asking a question in the chat. She wants to know what surprised you the most about fatherhood.
How satisfying it is. You know what I mean? Just knowing that you are molding someone into a productive human being, and when you teach them something and they actually retain it, you did that. You taught them this. This is something that they're going to carry with them forever. You know what I mean? Like just something as simple as like, I'm trying to teach my son how to ride his bike. You know what I mean? And it's a roller coaster ride, but it's something that once he gets it, he's never going to forget that I taught him how to ride a bike. Right. You know what I mean? I'm also getting him into T-ball, and I'm investing in all this T-ball stuff. It's fun. You know what I mean? Like just being an active dad is a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Like I could literally just be like, fuck friends, I just got this little guy right here, and he doesn't have a choice. He's going to hang out with me. You know what I'm saying?
Rock with you.
Yeah, he's just like, that's my best friend. And he every once in a while he'll just ask me like, Dad, you my best friend? I'm like, you better believe it.
Yo, that's dope right there. Where you got a little like nugget that's just like, hey man, are you my best buddy? And it's like, you know it, man. We're ride or dies. You know what I mean? We're on this thing together. So
right.
what are the things
I get a little hurt when I see him with other little kids, and he's all like, you want to be my best friend? I'm like, so we ain't got nothing special, dude. I'm like, you messed up, man. I'm like, you just said I was your best friend 5 minutes ago. I'm like, this didn't affect me in school. I'm like, why is this affecting me now? Like, man, talking about getting your little feelings hurt.
Right. So wait, you just had a moment with him, and you started like tearing up, and he just turns around and asks some random kid that's snotty nose the same question.
Random, you want to be my best friend? And I'm sitting there like, what the hell just happened? Did I just get replaced like that quick?
Oh
and
man,
he thinks nothing of it. He'll look at you like, what? Like what I do?
You're like, damn, bro. So what are the things y'all do together the most? What's y'all activities or hobbies that y'all share right now? Is it mostly T-ball or?
Well, yeah, T-ball is it right now, just because it's like, sports is everything. Me growing up, I played all sports. Well, sports that, I mean, I don't know. It might sound typical for a Black young man, but I played baseball, basketball, and football. That was everything. So baseball was definitely like my favorite sport to play out of all of them. Had I known that I was going to be as tall as I am, maybe I might have put a little bit of extra effort into working out and doing other things, because I grew 4 inches after I graduated high school. So
did you? Wow.
Yeah, it was stupid. But
that hit that growth spurt, that growth spurt could have helped you out though in high school. You know what I mean? When you was running around, you might have had a son earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Look, man, I tell folks like this, I leave with what I came with. Everything will be accounted for.
It's funny to me. or I don't know if it's funny because I haven't gotten there yet, but I've just been thinking about the sports that I don't play or that I'm not like a fan of, or that I don't do a lot with, and how like I I feel like I would be annoyed if I had to put a lot of money towards a sport that I couldn't coach them in. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool with buying pads and all that stuff because I'm like, yeah, here's how you do. You know what I mean? Here's how you tackle. You got to grab them ankles. That's a hand me down from my mom. Shout out to my mom. She used to tell me I got to grab them ankles to tackle better. But if I have to, buy a bunch of stuff for a sport that I don't even know anything about, I'm gonna be like, man, is this really necessary? Do you really
like what sports you talking about? Like I think
like lacrosse or something, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean that's different, you know what I mean? But it's just that's probably not going to be a sport that you'd probably guide them to once they hit middle school, high school. If that's just the route that they go, you got to support them. Mm-hmm. But you have all the influence in the world right now. Honestly, like especially with mine, like he likes what I tell him to like.
Okay.
Right now he doesn't, whatever is flashy and other kids are doing it, that's what he likes. So right now I'm just trying to get him into the space where he's competitive. You know what I mean?
That's a big thing. There's a lot of kids who don't have that nature, or they don't have, the hand-eye coordination or whatever. And then the competitive drive is a big one if you want to play sports.
Well, that whole everybody gets a trophy thing, that's a whole nother discussion for another day. But these kids need to learn how to have their little feelings hurt and to recover from it if they lose. So that's a big problem, in my opinion, with a lot of how these kids are emotionally struggling. Mm-hmm. It's all opinion, so hopefully nobody bites my head off. But a lot of these kids are emotionally struggling once they hit middle school or high school because they never lost. They never got beat up and had to go back to school the next day. They never got into a fight and had to shake hands and continue playing with that kid.
Right.
They had these hard situations and had to deal with them and to get over them. They don't get over them. So sports is a way to you learn how to lose.
Right. I'm reminded of that Thanos quote, you know what I mean? They gotta where he's like, I know what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail nonetheless. You know what I mean? Like that, you need that as a person. You need to know that. You know what I mean?
Because then nothing else, perseverance. I didn't fully understand what perseverance meant until I became an adult. But just the whole following through with something just because I needed to, and not taking no for an answer, or if something happens, if someone talks about me and hurts my feelings, like, okay, I just need to come and hurt, and figure out something to say that's going to come right back at them. It's not a thing where someone hurts my feelings and I just go retreat to a corner. You have to figure out how to teach these kids to recover from stuff like that.
There's two sides of it. There's learning to lose and not shutting down, and then learning to lose gracefully and not, flying off the handle and trying to fight. And you know what I mean? Because there's that other side of it where
let's talk about what people are doing nowadays. Why do you think we have these mass shootings?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why this is happening.
Yeah.
These people, they did not lose well. They were sore losers.
Sore losers. And they went up and went crazy, which is unfortunate. But I think there's kind of a whole thing right now where just the entire country has to be like, yo, we took an L right now. Let's regroup and repolish, retool.
That's politics. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
There's just a mass shooting here in California.
Oh, dude, right. How close was that to you? Huh? How close was that? Was that right around the
San Jose is 5 hours from here, man.
Oh, okay, so
yeah. But the thing is, every time they describe these guys or these people, they're outsiders. They did not fit in with people. You know what I mean? They it's just these things could be avoided.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Have they done a study on how many of them played school sports when they were younger?
Well, I mean, I don't know how sports would play into it, but if you go into people's profiles, they're very, very similar. You know what I mean? You get into like their profile of the type of person they are, activities they were interested in, and you know, they were loners. They didn't have many friends. You know, they might have still been like 40-year-old virgins, legitimately, just weird stuff. You know what I mean? Like they just were angry people.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, learning, like, here's the other thing about sports and learning to lose and all that type of stuff. Like when you lose, you figure out how to get better so you don't lose. Like that's kind of the point, you know what I mean? There has to be that, well, you didn't win so that you can actually figure out, retool, and make yourself better. You know what I mean? Like, try harder, score more, you know, like just how to be better at your craft and you know, whatever it is you're doing, whatever sports you're playing. That's a part that needs to be part of it. I definitely want to get him involved in sports. And you know, I'm halfway joking when I say like I don't want him doing sports that I don't know anything about, you know what I mean? But you know, there's a little truth said to it, but you know, I would still want him to be in a sport regardless, because I think it does teach you all those things that you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I don't know crap about soccer, but I would absolutely sign him up for soccer, and it's only because he gets to burn that energy. That's the only thing you're going to be thinking about. It's just like, why is my kid bouncing off the ceiling? Like he needs an outlet, because at the end of the day, let's say everybody's working from home. Like it was very trying all the times that he would be here with me while I was working from home. Like on the last show that I was working on, he'd be here, and every literally 20 minutes, you know, I could be sitting here talking about an idea on a script, then all of a sudden he'd be like, and that's me literally just like, and I'm sure there's so many people that kids have to stay at home with them. They're working from home. Then all of a sudden, like your attention goes and your kid's just doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. And you're just like, you put your mic on mute and then you're just going off.
Yeah, man, you gotta figure out how it's, oh man, that's the thing. I need to have another room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to figure out.
But that's why it's also, from when it comes to working from home, yeah, you definitely would want to have some space. You need some space.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I feel like, you know, we'll learn. We've got some time before we get there. You know what I mean? Because we're going to be in the infant stage. How was the infant stage for you?
Fun. It's just, you know, you're on call. You know what I mean? Nonstop. It's a lot of work. But it's fun. Like, you know, they're not talking shit to you. You know what I mean? They're just sweet, just goo goo gaga, just saying this and that. But it's just like, yeah, once they start talking, like they're just constantly talking shit and asking questions. The questions aren't as bad, but every once in a while, it's just like, you just asked me that 30 seconds ago and I told you the answer. Like, why are you not listening? It's like, oh, and then ask you again the same question.
I mean, I feel like that's gonna be fun part about it. You know what I mean? Where I don't know. I've heard my friends talk about all this stuff, like, oh, the kids like asking tons of questions and they're being like real annoying. And I'm just like, man, I really want to know. I don't know. Like, I really want to deal with that. Like, I feel like maybe because in my head, I've always heard other people say it. And like, I think I have a trick for that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to try my hand at it. I want to try my hand at, you know what I mean? Like, well, not even manipulating, just massaging that situation or working with that situation where they're being really annoying. And then I got to be like, haha, Jedi mind trick on you. You know, Daddy can do that.
Right, but yeah, you'll be finding it very interesting when when your excuse for you and your wife to spend time together, and then the kid comes back to you and says, "Why were y'all reading the Bible so loud?" Like, why are y'all always reading the Bible and I can't come and read with y'all? Like, you know, just whatever y'all excuse is to.
I'll tell you about it in high school, son.
Right. It's not going to be good enough, I tell you that.
My mom was like, "No, you answer them questions." And then I got a friend watching from Brazil, and you know they said, "Hey, what's up from Brazil? Go start talking about legalizing weed in Brazil." And I'm like, "This is a fatherhood podcast. We're going to talk about that when he gets to high school."
Right, it's
Like
just
that's when
legal
we'll
here
get
in
to
Cali. I tell you that.
What'd you say?
I said it's legal here in California.
Hey, there you go, man. Yeah, it ain't legal out here. Or actually, no, they just legalized it in Virginia too. So, you know, that's going to be a new era.
Well,
Have you
Virginia
thought
wanted
about?
to do it because the tobacco companies, they
Yeah,
want a piece of that.
they've
So
been waiting.
in the next 2 to 3 years, it'll be legal on a federal level. I'm very confident. There's a lot. All these southern states, they've been missing out on billions of dollars in tax revenue.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because we're broke. That's we're broke. So what do you do when you're broke? You start slinging bricks. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the country's about to do right now.
Hey,
They're
I
like,
mean,
hey,
it
look,
only
we ain't
makes
got
sense.
it.
It
Look,
only makes sense.
We about to get the hoodie ski mask. You know what I'm saying? And start slinging them bricks. So, but I don't know about the legalization of weed out in Brazil or whatever. But thanks for asking the question. Yeah, but what about that though? Because they're gonna grow up in a whole different era, right? Like the era we grew up, weed was illegal. It was taboo. You know what I mean? It was just coming off that whole reefer madness and it's bad for you and just say no and all this type of stuff. And now they're gonna grow up in an era where it's like legal. You can go to the corner store and buy it. How are you what do you think about that? Like preparing your kid for that? Like how are you gonna deal with that? So, like that's like before it was just say no. It made it real easy for parents. You didn't have to have those conversations. Just don't do it. Now those conversations are gonna be totally different.
Well, I think for me is there's gonna be a whole lot of threats and a whole lot of follow through if those threats aren't taken seriously. You know, if I'm gonna treat it like alcohol, like you can't do it until you're 21. You know what I mean? And if I catch you, I mean that's just gonna be your ass. You know what I mean? Like, and hopefully my kid at that point he's not gonna want those problems.
Right.
You know, when he gets to that age, like I want respect and a level of fear that's not gonna come from me actually having to do something to him. It's going to be more fear of disappointment. Like, I don't want my kid to be physically scared of me, even though he probably will be, just because I know I'm going to have to snatch him up a couple times just to remind him from time to time that, you know, he is still a child. But yeah, no, I mean, I can just hope that I don't have those issues as he gets older. You just never know, man. It's like I said, it's insanely satisfying, just as insanely scary.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I remember the worst whooping that my kid has gotten, and I'm sorry for anybody that's against spankings, but mine tore away from my hand and ran in the street.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn. So you had to
first
well,
reaction,
I mean,
just
so
like
I definitely feel like the thing about spanking is, you know, like back in the day, kids would get spanked and it became, you know, probably a little bit more prevalent because there were actual physical repercussions to not acting correctly outside of you parenting them. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You know, like we saw all kinds of terrible images of kids getting hurt, you know, in the South or whatever, or even, you know, up north. Like it was things like black children could be harmed if they didn't act a certain way. So then the parents took it upon themselves to inflict that pain a little bit, you know, to give them fear so that they didn't do it. So, right. You know, I understand that. And I feel like when they're young, you know what I mean? You can do that. But I feel like, you know, talking through it with them is helpful. But some kids are hard-headed. Some kids need you know what I mean? They need the physical because they are like hard-headed. They don't respond to intellectual stimulus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's true. Cause like, I mean, it could be very difficult. Like, you know, you do all the talking, You do the light little spankings with your hand on the butt, you know what I mean? But it's going to get to a point where it's like the kid knows, like, this shit don't hurt no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they're just putting on a show for you. Just think about when whippings didn't really do nothing to you no more, but you still just was like, it makes her feel good about herself. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, when your mom wasn't strong enough to whip. I will say that about my mom. My mom was always pretty strong she always could lay it down. The whippings. I mean, but I didn't do a lot, you know what I mean? And you're gonna have, I feel like you have that sometimes too, where you have the kid who doesn't need it. You know what I mean? You don't just spank them for the sake of spanking them. I feel like it's very clear where your kid is like, this kid, he needs that. He or she, like, you know what I mean, needs that. I don't advocate it, but I do understand where it comes from, and I understand why I support. Because when you go out into the world is not like a no spanking world. You could actually get in a fight with somebody. It's gonna, it could get physical. You know what I mean? And then you're actually, in a situation where there's physical harm or whatever. My mom's over here trying to talk about some. Oh, come on! I didn't spank y'all. My mom gave us. She didn't spank me because I wasn't that bad. I was a very good kid. My sister,
you putting it on Gabby, huh? You putting it on your sister?
Hey, Gabby, she did a few things that I was like, "Ooh, you gonna get it?" Ooh.
Hey, tell me this: was you a snitch? Did you snitch on her?
No. Me and Gabby were thick and thin. No, we weren't.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't stitching on her. I don't think she was stitching on me. Although I don't remember. I don't know. My mom could probably tell me a little bit better. Whether she was stitching on me, but I don't think so. I know I wasn't telling on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gabby said she was good. She was very good, but she definitely got more spankings than I did. But
no, the picture, the reaction with that "stop it, I was good" with her profile picture, that was funny.
Yeah, she was real cute. She was like, oh, but she had to get in everything. But I mean, that's a big thing. You know what I mean? Like spanking your kids to get discipline. How do you instill discipline right now without the spanking? Like, do you have tactics that you use to
it's I've been teaching him about consequences to his actions, losing benefits. So I'll take his toys away in a heartbeat. I will play my Nintendo Switch right in front of him, and just to reinforce, it might come off as a little mean, but it's just teaching him, like, he understands that when he doesn't do something, he knows, like, don't even ask me. You're not playing the Switch. I don't even play my Switch that much. Like, I really don't. Sometimes I play it just so that he can't play it. I mean, I'm just an asshole like that. But it's to teach him a lesson in when you don't behave well or you don't do what you're supposed to do, you lose benefits. No, you can't go to the park and play on the playground. Nope. All we're going to do is play. We're going to practice your T-ball. That's it. You can't play. You can watch. Let's go stand and watch these other kids play because you're not doing it. And you know why you can't play? And then he has to tell me why he can't play. So I'm trying to make sure he just remembers certain actions that he has are going to have consequences, and he's not going to have certain benefits through his actions.
I think that's a big thing, is like that self-recall. You know what I mean? Like this is happening. Why is it happening? And then being able to figure out, because I mean, if you get to a point where the kid is doing things and they don't understand why they're getting spanked or why, you know what I mean, XYZ is happening, then it's like, what's the point of the discipline? You're not really teaching them nothing. At that point, you're just hurting them. You're just abusing them. You know what I mean? Because they have no reference of what happened. But I think it all kind of goes into like a nexus where you're teaching, you're learning or whatever. And my standpoint is that physicality is something that is it's something that happens in the world. You know what I mean? Like you might go out here and get into a fight. You know what I'm saying? And at a certain point, you got to, kind of teach them things. There are sometimes physical repercussions to talking shit, to you know what I mean? To being bad, to not listening. So, That's a little part of it. Just to clarify, though, my mom did not spank us like excessively. I remember maybe like once or twice where we got like spankings. I got a spanking one time, and here's a good one. I got a spanking one time because I was playing around with a bunch of little kids, and I mooned this little white girl because I saw it on TV. I thought it was cool. It's like, oh, you just pull down your pants and you show your butt to somebody and say, nah, boo boo. And so I did that. And I thought it was real cool. And then homegirl like screamed like and ran away, right? And I look when I watched it on TV, there wasn't a reaction. There was like a very minimal reaction to mooning. You know what I'm saying? It was just but her reaction was like, to the point where I was like, oh shit, I done like this is trouble. You know what I mean? Like, we were young. We were like, I was like maybe 11 or 12 or something. I was like, what? I saw it on TV. It was a funny thing. Everyone laughs. Everyone was like, ooh, and then laughs, and she like screamed and ran away. Anyway, so I like ran off, and I thought I was good. I thought I was in the clear. I went to the bowling alley or whatever. I was like, you know what? I was in the bowling alley all the time. They ain't going to do nothing. And then so my stepdad, because apparently she told her mom, and it got back real quick. And then my stepdad came up. My mom was like, what? The story. And then I went to the bowling alley, and I tried to, I didn't have no money, but I was in the arcade pretending like I was playing video games, and my stepdad came in there. And here's how good I was at lying and playing it off, right? As soon as he walked in and turned the corner, my first words were like, what? I've been here playing video games the whole time.
You knew you was in trouble.
Yeah, I tried to play it off, and it did not go well. So he took me back home, and my mom lit me up. You know what I mean?
Their business.
But that was an extreme case. And you know what? Nowadays, look at it. Look if that happened nowadays, it's a thing where it could be a whole thing. You know what I mean? They try to put shit on your record, for something like that. And so it was good to spank that out of me. I tell you what, never mooned another person.
Right, exactly, right. Like let Brandon do some shit like that. Like, yeah, he ain't gonna be showing his butt to nobody, not at all.
But I thought it was
down for a second. I don't know.
Look, I thought it was going to be a funny thing. I thought it was, but you know what? It was a classic ass whipping, as my sister says, a classic ass whipping. And it was funny to me because it was just like out of a movie. Because I came in the house, right? AJ walked me back home, and I came in the house, and then my mom was like, "Oh, you like showing your ass? Show me your ass."
Right. That's real right there.
Yeah, and that's real right there. You gotta, you know what I mean? She like held it down, and it made me be like, I probably should not do that again. Like that was a poor choice.
So how do you feel about because I know it's a different time, and there are a lot of parents that made traditional spankings more than what it should have been. So how do you feel about the whole, like, how like more people are against spanking their kids nowadays?
I get it. I get why, because I don't think people are using it as like a tool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that it's not a tool in a tool belt. It's their go-to. It's like, oh, right. I got to just beat my kid up. I got to beat their ass. I got to, but it's not like it's not like a learning tool. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I get spanked, and then it's like, this is why that happened. You know what I mean? You got to understand, and you got to teach them. You got to verbalize what the reason and rationale is. And then like I said, my whole standpoint is like physical things can happen to you because of the way that you're acting. You know what I mean? And I feel like to a certain degree, your parents are kind of, your teachers, the first people to show you that, like, oh, because there's a lot of kids that I feel like never got spanked. There's a lot of kids who go off and start talking trash to people. They'll just start talking trash to people. And not ever in their mind does it cross their mind that this person could be upset and then hurt me. And they'll be like, well, it's wrong if they try to hurt me. It's like, but it don't matter. Like in that moment,
they can go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
On the curb.
You know what I mean? But they say there's a lot of like evidence of kids who got spanked. They'll go out and hurt other people. But I think there has to be a learning element to it, and then there has to be the element of physicality to it. And I don't think you should do it for like a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you should be spanking your kid until they're like 17 or something. You know what I mean? It's like kind of a young thing. Like, hey,
17-year-old to let you do it up until that point, then something else is going. You didn't broke that child. You broke that child. For them to let you do that.
Look, I remember the last time I got spanked. It was like I got spanked, and then like, and I would just remember it not hurting. So I was just like, oh. Like, because I had been in fights at that point, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like I have been at fights in the schoolyard, and then I got spanked, and I was like, oh, this actually doesn't hurt as much as like fighting. So I was just like, oh, okay, all right, that was interesting, and that was the last time, because I think it was like a realization, like, oh, he's too old for this now. Like, now it gets to the point where it's no longer a spanking; it's like a.
Well, my mom is pretty small, so I think I was like 12, and then once she realized that, like, she couldn't just, the belt was no longer something that she could use because I was bigger than her at that point. Because my mom was only like 5'2", and yeah, I grew out of that probably real quick. Probably by the time I was 12, and then there was a couple times she tried to. I guess she thought that trying to show me her hands. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't going to quite work either. It's just like, well, I'm faster than you, so I could easily just leave. So it was just like, all right, like, you go ahead and get yourself ready, do your stretches. I'm out. So it's just like, once I realized that I could just leave the situation, and there wasn't a whole lot that she could do to like force me to deal with it. Like, yeah, that was the end of that.
All right. Well, damn. Yeah, man. But I feel like another thing that my mom threw out there, she was saying that you got to keep them entertained or whatever. That'll help keep them out of trouble, so you don't even get to this point. Have you noticed your son having any like interest that you're like, wait, that's not anything I was ever interested into? What's up with that?
No, I mean, because you know what? Here's the thing. So since me and his mom are together, I can't really dictate what they do together. So I can't really speak on that. But when he's with me, he's really interested in whatever I want to do with him, honestly. What he might say, I don't want to go play baseball right now. But then when we get out there, he doesn't want to stop.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it's just a situation of me just watching TV with him, he just wants to curl up next to me, and that's it. You know what I mean? So whatever I want to do is what he wants to do, as long as it's beneficial to him.
So
good time.
So in your bio, you're a writer, and I've known you as being a writer. Has he seen you write, or does he like write with you, or have you written anything with him? Or
well, no, I mean, so on the last show that I was working on, he definitely that's the example of the Zooms that I was on for the writer's room, and then all of a sudden having to look away like this because he started doing something, or he wants to walk in to see who's all on the screen. You know what I mean? Like, and all of a sudden he's just over my shoulder like, hey, I'm sitting there like, you don't go sit down. Like, you have like free reign of this place. I just need this little corner. This is my corner. Just stay out of it, please. And like, you got this whole place to yourself. But no, you got to come right up into my little corner. And he's just like, so? And I'm just like, okay, I don't know what else to say to that. He just said so. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. That was a great rebuttal.
It's just like, all right, and I can't cut up, on this Zoom. So, but I have had to turn the camera off a couple times. I'll be right back. But no, he's really interested in entertaining him. As long as I'm doing it with him, I've been doing more just learning stuff with him, and puzzles and flashcards and all this other stuff. He won't do it on his own, but if I'm doing it with him, he'll do it however long I want to do it with him.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
That's
like,
oh man.
yeah, and that's going to be the thing, and teaching him patience. You know what I mean? Because kids will get frustrated when they don't understand something, and you're just like, you should get this. You should, you know what I mean? It's just like, just having patience, man. You know, a lot of people don't have it,
Mm-hmm.
and that adult not having patience with the child is going to be extremely noticeable. And as soon as
Right.
they sense that you're impatient, they're going to get impatient and they're not going to want to do it anymore because they
Right.
see that they're making you upset. They're not going to be able to express it in that way. But if you just show, like, look, man, like, you know, right now I've got something over him. He doesn't like the word quitter.
Mm.
Oh, he doesn't like it at all. Like, he
Oh
gets
wow.
offended. So I
Right.
use it. I use it to my advantage now. Oh, you're a quitter? No, no. So, all right, well, then let's keep going then. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, it's just little things. You'll learn about your kid as time progresses and what triggers that can be of use to you. Like right now, my trigger with him is just calling him a quitter, and it motivates him. You know what I mean? And
There
like,
you go.
I do it in a way that he knows that I support him. Like, I'm going to help you so that you're not a quitter. You don't ever have to be a quitter. As long as you try, you will never be a quitter. Did you try everything? And he can be like, no. So I'm like, so then why are you quitting? Okay, I'll try again. Okay,
There
then
you
let's
go.
do it.
Damn, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I'll take that nugget with me. What are
But
some of the things
the
that
word
y'all
quit has to mean something to them, though.
right? Well, yeah, it's got to be their thing. You know what I mean? Like some
Right.
kids don't care about that word. It's like
Yeah,
it's
they
another
won't
word that they
can't
don't.
use it, and they're just gonna be sitting there like, so what?
Yeah, right. What are the fun things y'all do together right now?
T-ball, you know, teaching him baseball. I mean, that's fun for me. You know what I mean? Just teaching him something that I really care about and investing in all this equipment. I just got him a bat bag that's right behind me, getting
Oh,
him
wow.
all these baseball bats, and, you know, just going out there in the field and teaching him how to run the bases and, you know, just little fun stuff. It's fun, and he enjoys it. Other than that, I'm a TV person. Like, he just loves me just wanting to do stuff with him. That's it. As long as I'm doing it with him, he's on cloud nine.
There you go. Yeah. So, what position did you play in baseball?
Shit, man. When my knees was fresh and young, catcher, third base, and yeah, it was catcher and third base were probably the primary positions that I played. And then I tore my rotator cuff in 9th grade, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Ended high school career ended so tragically, like so many of us with high school injuries, bro.
and I played since I was like 4 years old too. Yeah. So it was rough.
Come to an abrupt stop. Well, check it out. Here at the BlerdDad, we have because you know you hear burning questions, we have blerding questions, right?
Okay.
So I know one of your interests, one of the things that you nerd out about is writing and drama TV and whatnot. So our blerding question for you today is you've written a procedural for your son. Where is it set and what is it about?
A procedural. I would write something for him at his preschool and trying to find out. He has to investigate who stole the toy.
So he's like a little detective, right?
Yeah, if I wrote something for him in the space that he's in right now, yeah. One of the last shows that I worked on was it was elementary. It's Sherlock Holmes show.
Right.
So
right.
having a pre-K investigate where a missing toy is, it would be silly, but you know.
I think that'd be cool. What, like, so if they're going to be like a detective or an investigator, they have to have like some quirk. Like Columbo had like his eye twitch or whatever, and his trench coat, or like who was, or like Kojak had the ball head, and he used to say something. I forget what he used. Anyways, what would be his quirk? What's his quirk that he would have as the
passing
detective?
gas and laughing like it was actually funny. Stuff 5-year-olds do, man. Stuff 5-year-olds do. It's just like passing gas, and that's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. So he's just gonna catch,
like, you nasty little shit.
He's gonna catch the bad guy and fart when he does
Right.
it. Every time when he farts, that means you're done.
No, like, he likes farting in awkward situations when there's too much silence. He just like, let me go ahead and just blow this up real quick.
Wow. Like actual farts, or who makes the sound?
Well, it's like 5-year-old farts. They're cute and just like, you hear it though. You know what I mean? And like, he'll look up at you just like, and it's just like, and you look down, or if he's sitting on my leg, and it's like you feel it. It's just, he looks at you like what was that? It was just sitting there, just like
he's surprised, just like you.
Right? Like, what was that? I'm sitting there just like,
yo, have you pitched that? The farting detective, the farting 5-year-old detective.
Not yet. Maybe I need to do it as an animated series. It probably would work.
It might be, you know what I mean? Like that's his secret power. How's writing going for you out there?
It's going all right, man. It's pretty slow at the moment. Just waiting on the next gig. Just I co-wrote an episode of this show that'll be coming out in the fall on BET Plus. Right now it is called Sacrifice. It's starring Paula Patton. It's based on a TV movie she did for BET Plus at the end of 2019. It'll be episode 9. But yeah, like, there's that, and then just working on some other scripts, hoping to get on something else really soon.
Yeah, see, look, we gotta get together and have like a writing session. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, you know what I mean? I'm rusty. It might be useful if you wanna help me craft a couple jokes. You know what I mean?
Hey, if comedy was my lane, I would be all with it. But I think some of the stuff that I say or do that is funny, it's literally just like, this shit isn't jokes. This is real life.
Right. Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of my comedy is just kind of truthful observations, which can be funny if you use them from like a certain standpoint. I've noticed that you are very like like even when you're joking, you're very serious. You know what I mean? You're like you got a serious demeanor. It's just like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's just real, like, But I've written. I'm like, when I was in grad school, like I wrote a comedy script, but the pressure to write comedy is so high, man. Like, I would not want to be in a comedy writer's room. Like, it is intense.
You know what's crazy? I would love to be in a comedy writer's room, and I feel like this is the thing, like, and maybe I realize now that it's probably because of like childhood trauma or whatever, or just like moving around and having to do, like, my brain is permanently set to comedy,
right?
Like in any situation. Even at work, in a meetings or whatever, I'm always thinking about funny, like just whatever. It's just it's not even thinking about it. It's just, that's where my mind went to. My mind always goes to the joke.
Well, and here's the thing that changed my mind. I was into comedy, like, when I was in grad school learning television writing, it was just like you had to pick the lane that you were going to go in, and that's where you were going to go. So we had to write a comedy pilot, we had to write a drama pilot, and learning more about like just what goes into a comedy writer's room, and finding out that their work days are like 8 to 12 hours, and it's just like very intense. And then I'm like, well, how many hours do drama writers put into work? Oh, 6 to 8. And I'm saying like, hold on, like, you mean to tell me that a 30-minute episode can have somebody working 5 days a week for up to 12 hours, or I could do something that's an hour long and work 6 to 8 hours.
Which one?
Yeah, it was kind of easy to make that decision. I'm like, I could tell some jokes in the drama script.
Right. Yeah.
I could tell a couple jokes and I'll be good.
But that's the thing about comedy. I feel like you have to put out so much. You know what I mean? It's just like a constant output. But again, if your mind is set to that, it's like, for me, it's just like,
right.
oh, okay.
Well, it's just very demanding because you have to hit so many landmarks with jokes and make it funny to people. So that's what makes it very hard to just keep up that space. And I wasn't cut for it.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know what I mean? Shit, we could have, look, I could have been your what you call it, your pen pal, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to just write some jokes for you. Which by the way, did you check out my special?
I was in Cancun when you sent it to me and I forgot. I am so sorry. And I am definitely going to watch it this week.
Because the whole reason I got you on here is to put you on the spot about not watching my special.
Okay. Well, when you sent it to me and told me about it, I was on my vacation and my bae was keeping me very busy. So I apologize. And when I got back, I hit the ground running, and you mentioning it right now is just like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. I need to go watch it as soon as we hang up.
Hey, look, you fine, man. Just give me some feedback. I'd love to.
No, and I meant to. If I hadn't been literally on the beach when you sent me that message, yeah, I would have watched it probably right then and there if I was home.
Right. Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, man. This has been dope. This has been fun. I can't wait for us to get up and hang out.
Well, you're gonna have to come out to California sooner than later, man. I know your sister is just like, what the fuck?
I know. And
I'm bad too. I'm sorry, Gabby. I'll do better.
Right. Wait, how bad has it been in LA?
I mean, we've been closed. We're literally just getting benefits and privileges, like real privileges, over the last couple months. And June 15th is no more restrictions. They're still gonna require masks in some situations, but it's not gonna be mandated. I think they're gonna leave it open for businesses to dictate whether or not they want masks in their businesses or not. But June 15th is clubs and bars. Not a single club or bar has been open in a year and a half.
Yeah, I'll tell you, because in this area, and I don't know why, just the Arlington, Virginia area, things have been kind of popping. People were out the whole time.
They're having these Rona parties, huh?
They didn't care. And I was just like, and it gets to a point where I'm riding around. I'm like, am I crazy? Am I the only one who's home? Because people were out, you know what I mean? And they were kind of out and about doing things. Bars were open, limited capacity, but still packed. You know what I mean? Outside, you know.
Californians are gonna go ape shit crazy on the 15th. Okay, they are just gonna be doing some reckless shit. I already know it.
Is that when things open up? June 15th?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, good luck.
People are just gonna be doing reckless shit. Probably people just gonna be I can't even call it, man. People are gonna be wilding out.
Hey, look, what a time to be single, right?
I want no parts of it. I'm watching from the TV screen,
Look, this is why I'm glad I'm off the market and out of that world. You know what I mean? Out of the singles, because it's gonna be a free for all. It's gonna be crazy.
Definitely. Story. People are just gonna be doing all type of stuff, man. I'm just gonna be watching it on the news. Yeah, I want no parts of it.
All right, man. Well, we are going to wrap it up here. I 100% thank you for coming through. As always, much love. We'll have to stay in touch, plan that vacation. Much love to you and the little son. Good luck to you all.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and then I have to talk to our other cousin Joel sometime in the near future.
He's right here
over there. Bring him over there so the ladies can see him. Look at this guy. He's look at my dude. Look at him. Hey, what's up, brother? What's going on, bro? Yo, you gonna have to come over here and give me the same rundown, just like Brandon did.
Oh, for sure.
All right. Anyways, all right. I'm gonna get out of here. Let me close this on. Stick around. I'll holler at you after I close up the show.
All right, man.
All right.
Yep.
And there you have it. There you go. There goes my that's my cuz, man. That's my cuz, Brandon Tanori, great writer for look, I gotta get the there you go. Let's see if I can get the the focus back. No, the focus isn't working on the camera. See, this is why I don't like these autofocus cameras. It's upsetting to me. If you ever get these cameras, they don't autofocus correctly. And now I got to go on a rant instead of closing out the show the way that I wanted to. I got to go on a rant that my autofocus isn't working. Grr. Anyway, that's been another episode of the BlerdDad podcast with our guest Brandon Tanori. He is he's a great writer. Put him up on some shows. Pick him up on some shows, man. He's got some great ideas, and they will be very dramatic. You know what I'm saying? They will be very dramatic, and then I'll throw him a couple jokes too, if necessary. But yeah, this has been fun. We learned a lot. We learned when it's appropriate to spank your kid, and when it is inappropriate to spank your kid. You know, and we learned that we're going to have to come up with different parenting techniques because weed is going to be legalized in all these stuff. And how are you going to deal with that with your kids? That's going to be a tough question. And we also learned that my mom does not remember these stories that have very much impacted me, namely the time when I mooned a kid and got in trouble for it, which I deserved, by the way. I was in the wrong there. So, you know, there's that. But anyhow, it's been a great episode. It's been a great ride. I still need one of you to send me outro. Like what should be my sign out message for the BlerdDad podcast? Go ahead and send me that. Go ahead and like, subscribe, do all those great things that you do to a podcast that you like. I probably should have put that at the beginning. Look, we're still learning. This is episode, I believe, 7, and we're still growing. We're still growing, getting better at this thing. And I'm telling you, by episode 10, we're going to be humming. We're going to be flying. Or maybe episode 15. It might be episode 20. I don't know. Eventually, we're going to get it right. And you're going to be there for the ride with us. Signing off. This is the BlerdDad Glenn Lawrence. Y'all have a fine day. That's not good. One of you give me an idea. It'll be much better than have a fine day. I'm going to go with that. That's going to be what you're going to have to listen to from now on. Have a fine day. You heard it here from the BlerdDad. Have a fine day.